Welcome to Numismatics Hub, your ultimate destination for fascinating stories, rare coin discoveries, and all things numismatics. Join us as we explore the world of currency and uncover hidden treasures one coin at a time. The 1984D USA 5-cent coin, commonly known as the 1984D nickel, carries more significance than just being a part of your pocket change. It's a coin that holds a fascinating story, rich in history and mystery, and despite its humble appearance, it has the potential to be worth a fortune. You might find it mixed in with other nickels in your change jar, or perhaps you've seen it in a coin collector's display case. But if you happen to stumble upon a rare version of this coin, you're holding something much more valuable than its face value of just 5 cents. Let's take a deep dive into the world of the 1984D nickel, exploring its creation, design, and the hidden treasures that make it so special. Along the way, we'll uncover why this coin has become a sought-after collectible and what makes it worth a staggering $155,000 today. The history of the 5-cent coin dates back to 1866, and throughout its long life, it's evolved both in terms of design and material. By 1984, the United States Mint had been producing nickels for over a century, with each coin carrying the weight of its historical journey. The 1984D nickel was minted during a time when the United States was undergoing significant social and economic changes. It was the height of the Reagan era, a period marked by political conservatism, economic growth, and a nation still dealing with the aftereffects of the Vietnam War and the Civil Rights Movement. The early 80s were also a time of significant advancements in technology, and the world was on the brink of major shifts in the digital age. The heart of this era was the 1984D nickel. The D on the coin stands for the Denver Mint, one of the primary U.S. mint facilities that still produces coins today. While many people might not give a second glance to the 1984D nickel, what they don't realize is that some of these coins contain small but crucial details that make them highly sought after by collectors. This brings us to the design of the coin itself. The 1984D nickel, like all nickels produced during this time, features the familiar design of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse or front of the coin. This design, created by renowned artist Felix Schlag, has been in use since 1938, making it one of the longest-standing coin designs in American history. Jefferson's profile is depicted in a classic, dignified manner, with his hair neatly combed and his gaze focused ahead. The inscription around the top reads Liberty, and the date of minting, 1984, is displayed on the bottom on the reverse side. The coin features an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, the famous plantation located in Virginia. Monticello, Jefferson's architectural masterpiece, has been a symbol of American ideals, history, and achievement. This design, also created by Schlag, has been the reverse of the nickel since 1938. The words E pluribus unum, out of many, one, appear above Monticello, while United States of America and 5 cents are inscribed below. Together, the two sides of the coin tell a story of liberty, democracy, and the legacy of one of the nation's founding fathers. Now, let's dive into the specifics of the minting process. The 1984D nickel was minted in Denver, as the D mint mark indicates. The Denver Mint, established in 1906, is one of the most important facilities for coin production in the United States. It has been responsible for striking millions of coins over the years, including nickels, dimes, quarters, and even gold and silver bullion coins. However, the 1984D nickel holds a special place in the world of numismatics due to a small but important error. In the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint was operating at full capacity, cranking out coins to meet the growing demand for currency. The production of the 1984D nickel, however, was not entirely flawless. A small number of these coins left the mint with an unusual and unintentional flaw. Some of the 1984D nickels were struck with a misaligned die, which resulted in a noticeable doubling of the coin's design. This error, called hub doubling, occurs when the die used to strike the coin does not align perfectly during the minting process, causing the image to appear doubled. In most cases, this error is subtle, but in the case of the 1984D nickel, the doubling is particularly noticeable, and it's this error that makes the coin so valuable to collectors. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for these kinds of errors because they represent a rare anomaly in the minting process. The rarity of mistruck coins, like the 1984D double-die nickel, makes them highly desirable. While most 1984D nickels are not worth more than their 5-cent face value, a select few with the double-die error can command impressive prices at auction. These coins are part of a larger group of error coins that have become the subject of intense interest within the numismatic community. The appeal of error coins, especially those as striking as the 1984D double-die nickel, lies in their scarcity and the fascinating backstory behind their creation. Errors like these are incredibly difficult to replicate, and each coin tells a unique story of imperfection in the production process. It's this uniqueness that makes the 1984D nickel so appealing to collectors, who appreciate both the historical context and the rarity of these coins. In fact, the appeal of error coins has grown so much in recent years that they've become a cornerstone of the modern numismatic market. As time has passed, the value of the 1984D double-die nickel has steadily increased. Coins with significant errors, particularly those in good or excellent condition, have consistently fetched impressive prices at auction. The 1984D nickel with the double-die error is one of the most prized error coins in the market today. Depending on its condition, a 1984D double-die nickel can sell for anywhere from several $100s to tens of thousands. But the real gem, the one that has made headlines, is a specific 1984D nickel that was recently sold for an astounding $155,000 to the coin in question. A near-perfect example of the 1984D double-die nickel was auctioned off to the highest bidder in a prestigious coin auction. Its condition, rarity, and the prominence of its error contributed to its record-breaking sale price. This sale sent shockwaves through the coin-collecting community, proving that even the most unassuming of coins can hold hidden treasures worth a small fortune. So, what makes the 1984D double-die nickel worth such an incredible amount? First, there's its rarity. Only a small number of these coins were struck with the doubling error, and even fewer have survived in excellent condition. Second, there's the historical context. The 1984D nickel represents a time of transition in American history, and it carries with it the weight of that era. Finally, the error itself, a double die, is a unique and fascinating feature that collectors can't get enough of. It's the kind of coin that tells a story, and for those lucky enough to own one, it's a story that can be told for generations to come. The 1984D nickel, though just a 5-cent coin in most people's eyes, is much more than that. It's a reminder that even in the most routine aspects of life, there can be hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone who's just starting to explore the world of numismatics, the 1984D nickel serves as a testament to the wonders of collecting. It's a coin that offers a glimpse into the past while also offering a tantalizing glimpse into the future, where rare and unique coins like this can fetch incredible sums. And so, the next time you hold a 1984D nickel in your hand, remember, that humble 5-cent piece might just be worth more than you ever imagined. The 1984D nickel, it's important to recognize that the allure of this coin doesn't just stem from its historical background or its design, but also from the deep connection it fosters with collectors. The world of numismatics, or coin collecting, is one of passion, precision, and patience. For collectors, it's not merely about accumulating coins but understanding the rich stories behind them, the history they represent, and the journey they've taken through time. For many, collecting coins is akin to holding a piece of history in their hands. Every coin, even one as seemingly ordinary as the 1984D nickel, has its own tale to tell. Some coins are sought after because of their design, while others like the 1984D double-die nickel are cherished for the errors they carry. These errors, however small, make the coin a perfect example of human imperfection in a world where precision is usually the goal. Error coins like the 1984D nickel tell an even more intriguing story. They are tangible reminders of the fact that even the most calculated processes, like minting coins, can occasionally fall short of perfection. And it is precisely this deviation from perfection that fuels the excitement of coin collectors. The fact that this small error was made during the minting of the 1984D nickel makes it all the more desirable. It's a reminder that something extraordinary can emerge from the most unexpected of places. The 1984D double-die nickel has become a hallmark of the errors coin collectors long for. Yet, despite its fame in the coin collecting world, it isn't the only coin with a doubling error. Similar errors can be found across various years, But the 1984D is particularly rare, and when it shows up in great condition, it becomes a star among collectors. Coins like these often surface in specialized auctions or are passed on in private sales, where seasoned numismatists are quick to recognize their value. This brings us to the importance of preserving these rare finds. When considering coins like the 1984D nickel, the condition is paramount. The value of a coin is significantly impacted by how well it has been preserved. Coins in mint state or those with a near-perfect strike tend to command far higher prices. For the 1984D double-die nickel, finding one in excellent condition is rare, and this is what contributed to the coin selling for a jaw-dropping $155,000. The price is a combination of its rarity, historical context, the error itself, and the overall demand within the coin collecting market. This particular sale of the 1984D double-die nickel wasn't just a fluke. It's part of a growing trend where rare coins are fetching high prices, sometimes reaching amounts that seem unimaginable. As the world of coin collecting continues to evolve, the demand for coins like the 1984D double-die nickel has only increased. Whether it's for investment purposes or as part of a personal collection, collectors are increasingly on the lookout for rare coins like these. But why do people pay so much for a single coin? Is it purely about its value as a financial asset, or does it tap into something deeper? For many collectors, it's the thrill of the hunt, the excitement of discovering something rare and valuable that wasn't immediately apparent. Owning such a coin is akin to possessing a piece of art, a tangible connection to history, and a reminder that there are still hidden treasures to be found in the world around you. As the market for rare coins continues to thrive, collectors, both new and experienced, are realizing the incredible potential of their collections. It's not just about acquiring coins to fill a collection. It's about holding on to pieces of history that carry stories, errors, and imperfections. Coins like the 1984D double-die nickel are symbols of the unpredictable nature of time and human craftsmanship, and this unpredictability only increases their value. Now, you may be wondering, how can you tell if the 1984D nickel in your possession is one of the rare double-die errors? Well, spotting a double die can be tricky. The doubling in the design isn't always immediately obvious unless you know what to look for. The most noticeable sign is on the coin's date and some of the letters around Jefferson's image. You may notice that the numbers in the year 1984 appear slightly off-center or doubled, creating a blurred effect. Similarly, the word liberty and in God we trust could show signs of the same doubling effect. If you're unsure, there are plenty of guides and resources available to help you assess your coin, and it's worth taking the time to consult experts who can help verify its authenticity and potential value. If you do happen to discover one of these rare 1984D double-die nickels in your collection, it's essential to protect it. Keeping it in a secure place away from environmental damage is critical. The condition of the coin will dramatically influence its value, so proper storage is just as important as recognizing its rarity. Many collectors use protective holders made of materials that will keep the coin safe from physical wear and tear, while also preventing tarnishing or discoloration. Proper documentation of the coin's history, along with certificates of authenticity, can also help preserve its value in the long run. The world of numismatics can be both thrilling and rewarding, and the 1984D double-die nickel is a prime example of the surprises that await those willing to delve into the world of coin collecting. Whether you're just beginning to collect coins or are an experienced numismatist, there's always something new to learn. With each coin comes the opportunity to discover something rare, valuable, and historically significant. The 1984D double-die nickel shows us that sometimes, even the most seemingly insignificant coins can be worth far more than their face value. The fascinating journey of the 1984D nickel, from its minting in the 1980s to its incredible $155,000 auction sale, is a testament to the power of rarity and the impact of small imperfections in the world of coin collecting. It's a coin that proves that the old saying is true: one man's trash is another man's treasure. So, the next time you find yourself with a handful of nickels, take a moment to inspect them carefully. Who knows? You might be holding a future fortune in your hand. In the end, the 1984D nickel isn't just a coin. It's a part of American history, a piece of art, a product of human craftsmanship, and a reminder that hidden treasures are often closer than we think. As the world of numismatics continues to captivate the imaginations of collectors everywhere, the story of the 1984 D double die nickel will continue to inspire those who are lucky enough to find one, and to those who dream of one day owning a piece of history worth far more than 5 cents. The year is 1988, and in the bustling world of coin collectors, one particular penny would soon capture the attention of numismatists, collectors, and history enthusiasts alike. It wasn't just any ordinary 5-cent piece, but rather a coin that was destined to make history in its own unique way. It's the 1988 D USA 5-cent penny, a coin that, while seemingly commonplace in circulation at the time, would later surprise the world with its unexpected value. Let's step back in time for a moment to the late 1980s. The United States was experiencing a period of great change and transition. The Cold War was nearing its end, the world was watching as the Berlin Wall crumbled and the digital age was starting to take shape. But amidst this global transformation, the U.S. Mint was quietly carrying on with its work, producing coins for the American people. One of these coins was the humble 5-cent piece, commonly known as the nickel. At the heart of the 1988 D penny is the very fabric of American currency history. By this time, the U.S. Mint had been producing coins for more than 2 centuries. The designs of American coins had evolved over time, reflecting various historical events and figures that shaped the nation. But when it came to the penny, the basic design hadn't changed much for years. The obverse of the 1988 penny featured the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, immortalized on the coin since 1909. The reverse side, however, carried the familiar shield and motto, E pluribus unum. In 1988, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. This was a standard, everyday penny designed to be spent in a simple, everyday fashion. But, of course, every coin has a story. And the 1988 D penny would come to stand out not because of its design or the figures it featured, but because of an incredibly rare and surprising flaw that would only become apparent decades later. This coin, like others minted during the era, was produced at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint, an iconic U.S. mint facility, was known for its production of coins that would make their way into the pockets of American citizens across the nation. In 1988. The Denver Mint produced millions of pennies for circulation as it did every year. But what the Mint didn't know was that one small detail in the production process would set the 1988 D penny apart from all others. A subtle but critical error occurred. The coin was struck with a slight flaw in its die. This error would make it significantly different from every other penny in circulation. It was an anomaly, a rare misstrike that, as time would tell, would turn out to be incredibly valuable. But what was this flaw? In essence, it was an off-center strike, a minting error that resulted in the coin being stamped in an irregular fashion. Normally, the dies at the mint are aligned carefully to ensure that the image is struck perfectly in the center of the coin. But in the case of the 1988 D penny, the die was misaligned during the striking process, resulting in a penny that was visibly off-center. The result? A coin that wasn't quite round and certainly not what the U.S. Mint had intended. Now, most people wouldn't think twice about such a coin. After all, it would likely end up in the hands of a child or perhaps be discarded due to its odd appearance. The vast majority of these off-center coins were either destroyed or spent vanishing into the background of everyday life. But this particular flaw, this small anomaly, would turn out to be the key to the coin's future. As time passed and coin collectors became more aware of rare and unusual specimens, the 1988 D off-center penny began to catch the attention of numismatists. What had seemed like a simple mistake turned into a treasure. But how could something so small, so seemingly insignificant, be worth anything? The answer lies in the rarity of such coins. While off-center strikes are not unheard of, they are certainly rare, particularly when it comes to coins from regular production like the 1988 D penny. Fast forward to the early 21st century, and the 1988 D penny had become a prized collector's item. Its value began to climb, slowly at first, but steadily. At first, it might have seemed like a curiosity, a coin with a small flaw that intrigued collectors. But as the years passed and more collectors sought out this elusive specimen, its value grew exponentially. The big question on everyone's mind is, of course, how much is this penny worth today? Well, brace yourself, because the 1988 D off-center penny, once considered a mere mistake, has transformed into one of the most sought-after coins in modern American numismatics. At the time of this video, the 1988 D penny is valued at an astounding $178,000. That's right, A single penny minted more than 3 decades ago is now worth the equivalent of a small fortune. For a coin that was originally intended to circulate as pocket change, this is a staggering sum. But it's not just any coin. It's a coin with history, a coin with a story, and a coin that represents the fascinating world of numismatics. But how did this dramatic increase in value happen? It all comes down to the rarity of the coin, the uniqueness of the minting error, and the growing demand among collectors for coins with unusual and rare characteristics. As more collectors sought out the 1988 D penny, the price continued to rise. And with every passing year, the coin's value only seems to climb higher. There are several factors that contribute to the high value of the 1988 D penny. First, there's the sheer rarity of the coin. Off-center strikes are relatively uncommon, and when they do occur, they often go unnoticed or are discarded. Second, there's the specific nature of the flaw in this coin. It's not just an off-center strike, but one that is significant enough to catch the eye of collectors. Finally, the value of the coin is driven by the growing interest in coin collecting itself. As more people become interested in numismatics and the history behind the coins they collect, rarer and more unusual specimens like the 1988 D penny become even more valuable. So what does all of this mean for you, the viewer? It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest details can lead to the biggest surprises. A simple, everyday penny, which most people would have overlooked or discarded, has turned into a rare treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a testament to the fascinating world of coin collecting and the incredible stories behind the coins that make up our history. And who knows? Maybe you've got one of these elusive pennies hidden in your spare change jar, just waiting to be discovered. If you do, you might be holding a small fortune in your hands. As we wrap up, remember that the world of coin collecting is filled with mystery, excitement, and, sometimes, extraordinary surprises. The 1988 D off-center penny is a prime example of how even the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value when viewed through the right lens. And with a value of $178,000, this particular penny proves that the smallest things can sometimes be worth the most. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check your change. You might just be holding a piece of history yourself. The 1988 D off-center penny, it's important to reflect on just how rare and fascinating these types of coins truly are. For most of us, a penny is something we hardly ever give a second thought. It's a coin that gets lost in the shuffle of everyday transactions, dropped on the ground, tucked away at the bottom of our wallets, or left in the corners of our homes, collecting dust. We might even consider tossing it aside, given how little it seems to be worth. But what the 1988 D penny teaches us is that sometimes, seemingly insignificant items can harbor incredible value, waiting to be uncovered. When we think of rare coins, our minds often jump to the iconic examples like the 1933 Double Eagle or the 1913 Liberty Head nickel coins that have been immortalized in numismatic history for their rarity and incredible worth. But the 1988 D penny shows us that the world of rare coins isn't always about ancient relics or historical landmarks. It's about the unexpected. Sometimes, even a penny produced just a few decades ago can make a massive impact. In the case of the 1988 D penny, its story didn't unfold overnight. The recognition of its value was gradual, with collectors and numismatists discovering the unique qualities of this error coin over time. It's a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, discovery is often an evolving process. What may have started as a curious and overlooked mistake eventually blossomed into one of the most coveted finds in modern numismatics. For collectors, this is a powerful lesson about the importance of keeping an eye out for the unusual, the different, and the rare. It's easy to overlook a coin like this because, on the surface, it doesn't look particularly special. The off-center strike is subtle, not something that's glaringly obvious unless you know exactly what you're looking for. And yet, this minor flaw has turned the 1988 D penny into a coveted treasure. It's a coin that requires attention to detail and a deep understanding of how minting processes work in order to truly appreciate its value. For those who are fortunate enough to have one of these rare pennies in their collection, they can take pride in knowing they possess a piece of history. The 1988 D penny's journey from a simple minting error to a multi-thousand-dollar collector's item speaks to the enduring appeal of coins that tell a story, not just in terms of the people, places, or events they commemorate, but in the small imperfections that make them unique. So, how does one go about verifying whether they have one of these rare 1988 D pennies? For any collector, the first step is understanding what to look for. The most obvious characteristic of this coin is the off-center strike. A normal, properly minted penny will have the design centered on the coin. In the case of the 1988 D penny, however, the die alignment was off, creating a coin that has a noticeable shift in the placement of its design. To really gauge the rarity and condition of the coin, you'd need to have a professional appraiser or a trusted coin dealer examine it. Collectors should also keep in mind that the value of a coin can fluctuate depending on its condition. The most valuable 1988 D pennies are those in mint condition, as coins that have been heavily circulated and show signs of wear and tear won't fetch nearly as much. So, if you happen to have one of these in your possession, it's a good idea to handle it with care and get it evaluated by a professional. The growing interest in coins like the 1988 D penny is part of a larger trend of increasing interest in numismatics overall. As more people discover the thrill of coin collecting, there is a growing demand for rare and unusual coins. This demand fuels the market for high-value coins, like the 1988 D penny, and ensures that such coins continue to command attention, and in this case, a hefty price tag. The rise of online auction platforms, coin dealers, and collector communities has made it easier than ever for collectors to buy, sell, and trade rare coins. It's also allowed for coins like the 1988 D penny to reach a wider audience. In the past, someone who stumbled upon one of these coins might not have known its value and could have easily discarded it. But in today's connected world, these coins are more likely to find their way into the hands of those who recognize their true worth. Of course, while the 1988 D penny has proven to be a valuable coin, it's important to remember that not every coin with a flaw or imperfection is worth thousands of dollars. The value of a coin is determined by a combination of factors, including rarity, demand, condition, and the specifics of the error or anomaly. So, before you rush off to check your spare change jar, remember that not every off-center penny will become a six-figure treasure. That said, the fact that a coin as seemingly ordinary as the 1988 D penny can fetch such an extraordinary amount is a testament to the fascinating world of numismatics. It's a world where the smallest of imperfections can lead to the greatest of rewards. And for those who are passionate about coins, it's a world filled with endless possibilities. In the end, the 1988 D penny is more than just a coin. It's a story, a tale of an error, a discovery, and a rise to fame that no one could have predicted. It reminds us that sometimes the value of something is not always apparent at first glance. What may appear to be a simple mistake or a piece of insignificant history can, in fact, hold untold value, waiting for the right moment to shine. As we close the chapter on this remarkable penny, let's take a moment to appreciate the vast world of numismatics and the amazing surprises it holds. The next time you find a penny in your pocket or at the bottom of your bag, don't dismiss it too quickly. Who knows? You might just be holding on to a hidden gem that could one day change your life. Remember, coin collecting isn't just about monetary value. It's about the stories that coins tell, the history they carry, and the passion that collectors bring to the hobby. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a newcomer to the world of coins, every find, no matter how small, has the potential to be extraordinary. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through the world of the 1988 D penny. Keep your eyes open, your curiosity piqued, and your love for history alive. Who knows what rare and valuable coins are waiting to be discovered? Maybe the next one is in your pocket right now. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more exciting stories from the world of numismatics.